So I want to talk about our thoughts controlling our experience. And even if we're not ready for the idea that our thoughts control our entire reality around us, I'm sure we could probably agree that if two people step into the ocean alongside each other and one thinks it's completely freezing and she's wasted her whole morning driving to the beach, she's probably going to have hypothermia, should have been having a coffee at the coffee shop and not even turned up. And the person standing right next to her is finding the temperature enlivening and invigorating, and she's enjoying every single moment that she's in the water and can't wait to dive in deeper. Those two people are in the same ocean and in very similar bodies, but they're having a very different experience. And so there are two ways that we're told that we can work on our thoughts as they control our experience, because, what do we do about this in practical terms? And the two ways of doing it are to banish all non-beneficial thoughts from your stream of consciousness. Give them no attention, which is tricky. And the other way of doing it is to really examine those thoughts. When you have a thought, invite it in for tea, is the saying. Really interview it, as Russell Brand would say. Hook into that thought, have a chat with it. Why is it there? Where did it come from? And that seems easier, but it's actually even harder. And the approach that I would take, and I have taken with a fair bit of success, is to banish the thoughts first. Emmett Fox talks about doing a 7-day program of banishing those thoughts. Just no non-beneficial thoughts, only positive thoughts, or not quite the right word, but beneficial thoughts. Thoughts that are good for you and your life. Nothing else for 7 days. And if you find yourself wallowing in worry or fear or a non-beneficial path of thought, you start the 7 days again. So it's a little bit harder than it seems at face value. But the trick around all of this is you're not going to stop your brain thinking any more than you're going to stop your heart beating. And people don't talk about this much. But heart's going to beat, brain's going to think. That's how it goes. You're not your heart, and you're not your brain. You're not your heartbeat, and you're not the thoughts in your brain. So you don't want to stop non-beneficial thoughts in your brain. You want to stop engaging with non-beneficial thoughts in your brain. Just like when you go for a run and you really get a good sweat up, huffing and puffing, whether it's the car handbrake popped on you and you had to chase it down the street, or you're chasing a child on a bike that's about to fall over, or you're running after the garbage truck, or you're training for a marathon, whatever the reason. After a big run, you're engaged with your heartbeat. It's got your attention. You're thinking about it. The rest of the day, you are not engaged with your heartbeat at all. And it keeps going. And you don't care, because it's just doing what it does. And that's part of the system, any more than you care when the cooling fan kicks on or off on your laptop. It's not even in your periphery. It's just not there. But our thoughts have this way of grabbing our attention, and you just don't have to engage with them. So the thought will pop up, and you just let it go. You say, I don't care. If you need to say anything to the thought or your brain to engage with it, you could say, I don't care. And mean it. Feel it and mean it, and let it go. And so that's what Emmett Fox is talking about. He's talking about, for 7 days, you watch those thoughts come, and when the thought comes that is not beneficial, even if it's the truth, if it's not beneficial, I don't care. Let it go. And see what happens. And once you've done that for 7 days, which is quite a journey, then you can interview those thoughts. If they've lasted for 7 whole days and they're still lodged in your system somewhere, coming up again, non-engagement, and it's there after 7 days, it needs an interview. You need to invite it in for tea. This is like the master, the Kung Fu master, Or the healing master and the apprentice is knocking on the door. I'd like to become a master like you. Bang. Door slammed in their face. They camp out on the step. What are you still doing here? Didn't I tell you to go away? I want to become a master. Bang. If you're still on the step 7 days later and you don't leave, well, then we've got something to talk about. And so, like I said before, the real trick to getting a handle on this is knowing that you're not your mind, and you're certainly not the thoughts in your mind. And those thoughts will just run, just like your lungs will pump air and your heart will regulate blood. You don't have to think those thoughts. They'll think themselves all on their own. That's what it does. But you can choose to engage with them or not. And so just engage with the thoughts that make you feel good. That's a start. And then maybe engage with the thoughts also that you feel would be beneficial for you and for the future. But I mean, use feeling as your barometer. That's your compass. If the thought feels good, engage with it. Think about it more. Really linger on it. If the thought doesn't feel good, I don't care. Let it go. And see what happens. Talk to you soon. Bye.